I don't know. I ain't really got a night pun for this. This is a little bit of a different of a reaction. This is requested by DegoCraft. This was something I meant to react to a while back, but it kind of slipped through the cracks. But I'm here and I'm doing it now, and it's storming and raining like a motherfucker outside, so I apologize if you hear it. It's going to be raining and storming all day and night, so I might as well just do it. I might as well just record. I wish I could drown it out, but I really am not that good of an editor yet. But someday. So this is titled The Beauty of Revenge by Degenerosity. So let's get in it. This is going to be a little bit different, so I'm not really sure what to expect. There we go.
On this day, then King of England, Ethelred, ordered the death of all Danes that lived on English land. It is unknown exactly how many
all the
had
Danes,
lost their
yeah, all the
lives that
Danish,
day,
all
but
the
among
Vikings.
the people who had perished was Genhild, the sister of Sweyn Forkbeard.
What the fuck?
And
That's
this dude was
Leonardo,
not someone to be
Leonardo da
stepped
Vinci
on. Bro was a
and
Viking warrior.
Mona
He
Lisa.
pressed his dad so bad, his dad fled to Germany. And he basically, at the time, just helped another dude take over Norway. Not the best person to have a bad relationship with. So when he heard his sister got clipped by the king, he did not take it lightly. In retaliation to this, he and his crew went on a pillaging spree, attacking with no mercy, making the locals submit to him, pressing the king more than ever. Eventually, he makes it to London, where the king at, and Forkbeard looking for all the smoke. But the king is like, nah, I'm not going out like this, and brings out Thorkel. Yeah, the dude from Vinland Saga. He exists. Him and Thorkel put up a decent fight, but it wasn't good enough. With the willpower of dead sister on his side, Forkbeard's drive towards vengeance was just too strong. The Danes win the battle. Ethelred and his family is exiled, and Forkbeard becomes the new king of England. For about 3 weeks, then he fell off his horse. Something. But
what the fuck? Oh, how do you become the king and die like that?
He avenged his sister's death. I bet it felt euphoric.
But how the fuck do you go out like that?
Two things. Never use the holes you find in bathrooms, and that forgiveness is a major key to finding happiness.
Not a glory hole.
I mean, why else
was that American?
So
was that Steve from American Dad?
Winners and revenge, and you will get nothing out of it as their message. Being the bigger person and moving on from whatever or whoever caused your past problems. And that's a very noble thing to do. Don't get me wrong.
Oh.
But sometimes it's just not it. Sometimes revenge is the answer. I have to say, there are some cases that require you to throw hands. If somebody spit on you, throw hands. If somebody step on your shoes, throw hands. If somebody shove you and your phone battery falls out in front of all the hoes, air the bitch out. Revenge isn't always a bad thing, but it's not always necessary. I mean, sure, there are those few cases where someone cuts you off at the freeway. Am I really going to get my revenge by cutting them off? Am I that petty? What you thought this was?
Family
I can't be caught looking like a grasshopper in the highway. The hoes are there too. There's also large cases where someone shaboogles your entire family.
Damn, you got Thanos.
Everybody there. You think I would want to resolve it in a one-on-one discussion? No, absolutely not.
Get it back in blood.
Are being kicked. Indian burns will be delivered.
That's Brendan Fraser.
That's cool. You are simply treating that person the way they treated you. I hate how since we were young, that it had been bad for us to fight back. Like how at school, a dude could take your lunch money, take your phone, take your swag, take your dignity. And the moment you fight back and the teacher catches
you, TASM, love that movie.
The bad guys, and y'all both get suspended.
That's what I never understood. I get.
On top, after it's all said and done, the administrator makes you both, you and Dragon Breath, apologize to each other. What do you mean? You did nothing wrong. All you did was retaliate to them being a jerk. Yet the school wants you guys to make up like it's Barney.
I understand sometimes that being
even if you see them 20 years.
I will say, like, I understand that being the case sometimes. Like, you know, let bygones be bygones, and something like that. But sometimes, you have no choice but to fight back, and if you're punishing somebody for fighting back, that just teaches them they need to lie down and take it, and that's not going to get them anywhere in life. You can't just lay down and take abuse. Like, you got to fight back. You got to have some backbone to you. So, yeah, I can see his point. It's very counterproductive.
Was retaliate to them being a jerk. Yet the school wants you guys to make up like it's Barney? Nah, between both of y'all, the beef is for life. Even if you see them 20 years from now at a Walmart, it's on site. In fact, what you did was a reasonable response. Fight back.
Fight back.
So, You ever thought about joining a club? Bitch, is an after-school club gonna give me my lunch money back? No. So the only other sense of satisfaction
Scary Movie 4.
And people like
Bruce Lee, love Bruce
lesson,
Lee.
so they don't become those super annoying adults that go up to you while you walking your dog and start petting them like, who are you? And if that's too harsh for you, some people say success is the best revenge. And whoever came up with that was spitting the truth.
Yeah.
But only if my honest family. If they're winning while I'm winning, then I'm not really winning.
Yeah.
I'm still losing. For me to feel like I'm winning, my win's gotta be astronomical.
There's an old saying, it's not enough that I succeed, others must fail.
Be higher than theirs. Oh, you just got accepted to Harvard? Well, I'm president, and I just signed a bill forcing you to pay 100% income tax every year, and if you don't, it's life in prison.
I love the pettiness.
Feels good to win. You see how beneficial revenge can be to the human spirit? It can uplift, it can enlighten, but more importantly, it's fun. And it's equally as fun to spectate. There's nothing more entertaining than people settling their beefs by publicly trying to embarrass each other. That is why rap beef is some of the best stuff that we turned into our amusement, spawning some of the most intense rivalries in history. You thought North and South Korea were on bad terms? You weren't there for Shakespeare versus Marlowe, bro. Cause in hip-hop, they don't do no petty shit like threatening nuclear war. They write each other poems. Very mean ones. These are diss tracks, and rappers do it all the time. In fact,
fucking Tupac and Biggie. Even though it wasn't really that big of a rivalry, but M and Ja Rule, M and Nick Cannon, even though that was kind of a one-sided thing, Nick Cannon kind of embarrassed himself. Fucking Kendrick Lamar and Drake. Nicki Minaj and a bunch of other people. There's been at least 2 or 3 beefs I can think of. Oh, God. The Ice Cube and NWA. Been a lot of rap beefs over the years, and a lot of them are fucking great.
Musicians
a lot of them are kind of terrible.
General do this a lot.
Some of them are kind of terrible.
Opposition or competition in their own songs. And diss tracks could be about anybody. Sometimes it could be about a basketball player you just hate to see play. I get it. Sometimes it could be diss tracks against your own band members, and you guys perform it live without
Eminem
them
dissed
knowing
his
it's
own
about
mom.
them. There is no holding back for a diss track, and that's why I love them. There's a sort of competitiveness to it. However, most of the time when it doesn't end with someone getting canceled or dead, most of the time the beefs usually have anticlimactic endings. Like an artist starting a beef by releasing a diss track against someone, and the other person either ignores it or releases something else that is just not even worth the buzz. Example, that Nicki Minaj and Megan Thee Stallion beef that lasted like 3 days.
That was one of the beefs that that was not even. It's hard to even qualify. It's like Nick Cannon and Eminem. It's not even really qualified as a beef because one, it didn't last long, and 2, it was bad.
Dropping his, obliterating Nicki with that Megan's Law line alone. Then Nicki goes on Instagram Live talking nonsense, then releases her diss track against Megan, Bigfoot. And I'm gonna lie, this was pretty good. I love the way the diss track sounds like a first draft. I love how she sounds like she's brainstorming comebacks to say on the track itself. I love how this sounds like a demo. I love how none of the diss lyrics hit. Greatest diss ever, 10 out of 10. Megan didn't even have to drop a track in the response. Cause why would you even need to respond to this, bro? In my opinion, Nicki already lost when she married this dude.
It gets a lot worse when you find out what her brother did.
Public interest for the beef just ended like that. Not too climactic of an ending. But, wait. In interviews about her own diss track, Megan says this.
Now, I haven't heard the record yet. Are you saying names?
I'm saying Hit Dog Gon' Holler, that's it.
God damn. So it's multiple people.
Yeah, whoever feel it.
So she's dissing someone else too. And when looking into the lyrics, she's dissing another man a lot. And the man I believe she's dissing is known
as Drake. BBL Drizzy. BBL.
You see, I've been hating on Drake a lot in the past, but I feel like most of it was unwarranted. Like my Certified Boy Lover vid, I listened to like 4 or 5 songs on that album, and I was like, that's it. That's being alright. And then I just made the vid. I just wanted to hate. Do I regret my actions? No, but the opinions of that video came from an unreliable source, being me. And I've learned from that. Now for this video, I did my extensive...
Is it the Lofi girl?
So I can hate more accurately. If you've been anywhere on the internet
there's light yogging me.
You might have seen people discussing the feud between one of the greatest rappers, lyricists, poets, scientists, Kendrick Lamar. and Canadian. Nah, but for real, these two are the biggest rappers in the world right now. Well, outside of you and Miles, of course. You also might have heard that they aren't the best of friends with each other, and that's what I'm here for today. I know, everyone has probably already heard every opinion that someone could have on this topic, because literally this has been the only thing that's been on my FYP for the past, 2 weeks. I'm pretty late to the party.
I think I'm even later to the party, because that beef ended in, May, and it's damn near October. But I remember having to explain this to my buddy Ethan. I had to explain this whole beef, because I keep up with hip-hop. I'm a hip-hop head through and through. That's just not for reactions. No, I love the game. I'm a student of the game. So it was a very interesting rivalry, and it was very entertaining. And I'm very sad it didn't go on for another few more disses, because Kendrick was fucking massacring him, and it was great to see. You had old people in other countries singing that Drake is a pedophile. That's range.
My bad. My ass thought another diss track was gonna come, but at this point, it's over.
Yeah, it's over.
I've been waiting for this day, but I gotta hold it in. I'll wait till the end. Because I wanted to go through the entire timeline of these two dudes' relationship, sneak disses, and their beef throughout the years. And the timeline starts at 2011, when Take Care was released. 13 years! 13 years this timeline goes back to. From 2011 all the way to right now. The first time the two collabed together was for Drake's song Buried Alive Interlude. The year after,
Right.
Lamar was an opening act during Drake's and A$AP Rocky's Club Paradise tour. That same year, they had 2 more songs together. A$AP Rocky's Problems and Kendrick's Poetic Justice. From an outside perspective,
Hey,
based on the
Jim.
amount of collabs these two were doing, these guys seem like the goodest of buddies. Until they weren't. Kendrick dropped his verse on Big Sean's Control, basically
Big
saying,
Sean,
I want to
yeah.
murder all of you. Love you though. Drake took this the wrong way and thought it was a genuine attack. Then he seemingly sneak disses Kendrick on the track The Language from Nothing Was the Same. Although Birdman, Drake's dad at the time, said the diss wasn't towards Lamar, Kendrick knew what was up. He then proceeded to diss Drake for real in his iconic Bet 2013 Cypher, which dropped the next month. There were a few other suspected sneak disses here and there, but in November of 2014, during a Day's Digital interview, Kendrick was finally asked about the beef between him and Drake, and Kendrick's like, oh, nah, we cool. Well, alright, I guess if Kendrick says they're good, then
What is that squeaking? Quit that.
they must be good. The beef is over. Way to go, guys. I guess love conquers all after all. Yeah!
Superior Robin Hood movie.
C-tier rapper Meek Mill claims that Drake got ghostwriters, and he don't write his own stuff, calling him out for being a phony.
Look, Meek Mill has his own problems right now. Did he?
By the way, the ghostwriter in question was Quentin Miller.
Yep.
And his side of the story makes me sad a little bit, but it's too off track. Now, how does this correlate to Kendrick and them's beef? Well, because a few months earlier, Kendrick dropped To Pimp a Butterfly. And on the track King Kunta, Kendrick disses rappers that use ghostwriters.
I can't dig rapping, but a rapper with a ghostwriter, yeah. Most of y'all sharing blowers. I remember this because there was a lot of speculation of who he was dissing. Everybody's like, oh, it's Drake, it's this person. And he was kind of dissing a lot of people.
Now, some might say this may be a coincidence.
It was not.
Except it ain't. 'Cause Drake dropped his best project. If you're reading this, it's too late a month before. Sneak dissing a whole bunch of people, including Mia Khalifa. Not even lying. And out of those people, of course, K-Dot was one of them. Probably, maybe. It's speculation. Sneak dissing is not concrete evidence, man. But I guess Kendrick took it personally, because he proceeds to sneak diss Drake for the next 8 years? Dang. Kendrick must be overly dedicated.
He's the biggest hater.
Fuck y'all too, lame man nigga. Okay, I
And
know
look, I appreciate a good pun, so I'll clap for you. That was a good one. You know what? We're gonna run it back for you, Degenerosity. Damn, I'm stuttering here.
Sneak dissing is not concrete evidence.
Degenerosity,
But I guess
there we
Kendrick
go.
took it personally, because he proceeds to sneak diss Drake for the next 8 years? Dang, Kendrick must be overly dedicated.
Overly dedicated his album. Because he's dedicated.
Fuck y'all too, lame man nigga. Okay, I know I haven't made it to the modern day yet, but if you listen back to what he's released during this time, a lot of song lyrics can
I'm
be
very sorry I butchered your name, Degenerosity. I couldn't. I was stuttering there.
interpreted as him dissing Drake. And yeah,
Yeah.
some might think, bro, not everything a Drake diss. He most likely don't like a few other rappers in the industry neither. And that
Leprechaun.
would be true if it was, but it ain't. The hard part for is
He's
definitely
Drake's biggest
about Drake.
hater.
I remember people back then were saying, "Oh, it's about Big Sean." Remember Control? He's dissing Big Sean. Really? Really? Look at these lyrics, bro. Look. Bro has a vendetta against Drake.
V
and
for
he wasn't
vendetta.
afraid of him, or it's definitely about Drake. I remember people back then were saying, "Oh, it's about Big Sean." Remember Control? He's dissing Big Sean. Really? Really? Look at these lyrics, bro. Look, bro has a vendetta against Drake, and he wasn't afraid of him to know it. Drake also, during this period of time, has a few speculated sneak disses, but Drake was mostly busy with someone else during this time. He had other problems to deal with. Drake, for all the dogs, first
No comment on that.
person shooter, J. Cole. He casually drops a verse.
J. Cole is
about
such a good writer, though, dude. Like, you gotta respect J. Cole so much. He is so talented.
the big three, saying him, Drake, and Kendrick were it. I don't know where Naruto fits in this, but one of y'all gotta bounce. This line, that wasn't even a diss. It's more of an appreciation than anything to Kendrick. But this verse, at the time, was unknowingly the start of the
kick-started it.
before the earthquakes. Because Kendrick responded to it, and he did not agree.
Fuck a big three. It's just Big Me.
Disney Speedstorm is
Not sponsored by Disney.
PC with Google Play.
Future and Metro Boomin dropped their album We Don't Trust You, which was basically a diss album towards Drake. No filter, no sneak dissing.
Yeah.
They made it well aware that is about him. They even had some big names on there, like Travis, Cardi, The Weeknd, and Rick Ross, I guess. But the one
Hey,
who
don't
stole
do
the
Rick
show
like that.
is easy. Kendrick. What up, Reddit? He did not pull his punches. Bro was dissing circles around both Drake and Cole. His wordplay was crazy. Say it's a lot of goofies with a check, I mean, did not help Cole or Drake in the slightest that this song got mad popular on TikTok, getting it to #1 on the Billboard. Drake was getting pressed.
Yeah.
But before he could retaliate, J. Cole came to his rescue. Damn, his diss sucked. Bro was talking some nonsense that I don't even think he believed himself. Saying Kendrick fell off and said To Pimp a Butterfly was boring? This guy...
I was giving J. Cole a lot of dap, and I think J. Cole is a very good, talented rapper, but he's not a disser, per se. That it was such a misfire because that's not his strength. He's a lyricist. And you can be a lyricist and a disser, but, you know, sometimes not everybody can be both, and J. Cole's one of those.
I criticize
At least not against Kendrick, he wasn't.
the niggas for being boring. He averaging one hard verse every 30 months or something. Nigga, you too. Like, come on. Alright, I don't want to trash on him no more like that. Because 2 days later, after releasing his diss
He did
track,
apologize.
Bro apologized for it.
Yeah.
People think Kendrick Lamar is one of the greatest motherfuckers ever.
J. Cole's smart. He got the fuck out of Dodge.
People
Like-
clown on him for this, and it do look bad for him or anybody to diss someone just to backtrack immediately. But I think it's a sign of maturity. Cole didn't want to make the diss in the first place, but with this pressure from fans and media, he probably felt like
Drake.
he had to. J. Cole seems like the guy who don't want beef with no one.
Yeah.
He a neutral soul. He's the Sweden of rap, and I honestly have nothing but respect for him for that. Remember when I said Cole backtracking showed his maturity? Yeah, Drake don't really know what that word means. Because on April 19th, 2 weeks later, Drake
My mom's birthday, actually. That was my mom's birthday.
responds back with push-ups. Drake's comeback to Like That. The cover making fun of Kendrick's shoe size. The title making fun of this video of Kendrick, I think. Okay. And honestly, on release, I didn't think it was that bad. You bite your tongue. Nah, let me specify. Only on release. I know. Me defending a Drake diss track against my GOAT Kendrick that I accidentally fall on my head? Well, not recently, but let me speak. There are some lines in the track that made me think, okay, he low-key slid on that. Combined with his flow sounding strong and kind of hard, with an infectious beat, with some decent one-liners.
I saw that
bro,
sign,
I
by the
won't
way.
lie. This was kind of a catchy track. Do I think it's better than Like That? Hell no!
Hell
It's not a
no.
great song. But if there were no other diss tracks released from either
Swinging
side
and missing,
after
dude.
push-ups, I honestly think Drake wouldn't get that much dirt thrown at him. Like That is the better and more popular song. But
Yeah.
let's be honest, it's not like Kendrick said anything too crazy towards Drake, other than an extravagant way of saying F you. This diss track alone wouldn't hurt Drake's career. That's the job for the ones after.
Oh,
But yeah,
God. Not
Drake
like
could've easily
us.
came
Meet the
back from
Grams.
this if he ain't dropped another diss track.
A 2-pack of ass.
Yeah. The AI one. Tailor-Made Freestyle, the second diss track Drake released on the same day.
Wasn't that with Tupac?
It was leaked first, but most likely on purpose, just so Drake could see the opinions of his fans, thinking, do they like this? And when he saw a majority of his fans liked it, he drops the tape on the same day. But that's just my theory. I low-key don't even want to break this track down. It's just dumb. Like, people low-key think that Drake was playing a mind game with this AI diss track. Like, oh, Kendrick is hearing his idols talking about him, criticizing him. Bro, you're typing words on a computer.
Yeah,
How is
they
this,
ain't actually talking shit,
threatening to
yeah.
Kendrick at all? There's also Snoop Dogg's AI voice in the diss track. Fuck! Now, I don't know how to feel
Snoop
about
and
Snoop
Tupac.
Dogg letting this happen. Maybe he's smart. Maybe he heard Drake's idea. He's like, dang, that sound ass. Go for it. Drake shot himself in the foot with this track. And he has the nerve to try to press Kendrick. Like saying, oh, you ain't gonna drop nothing. You don't want to take the spotlight from Mommy Taylor, do you? So you're not gonna do anything. So go ahead. I know you won't say something. Go ahead. Say something. Days pass by, and there's no tracks. Till the very last day of the month. On a Tuesday morning, I open up IG,
Yeah.
I see a post.
I opened
and
up Twitter.
Morning Wood instantly. It's happening.
Yes! April 30th.
Kendrick responded with his track, Euphoria. When I heard the
Euphoria,
opening to
yeah.
this track, I thought this dude was gonna diss Drake in a calmly whispering manner to that. And I was all
Nah.
here for it. And then the beat switched. And I was like, wait.
Yeah! That's how I look.
Bro, this song and diss track is amazing. It's better than any diss track that Drake has ever released.
Yeah.
One thing that I love about Kendrick, he's the real deal, lyrical, spiritual, miracle master. Dude is destroying Drake on this hard beat, saying disses that even Gumball himself couldn't think of. Like, some of these lyrics be crazy. He exposing Drake send a cease and desist over the song like that, and that he's Canadian. This guy is exposing Drake for everything. And when he's not exposing him, he's making fun of him. He dissing the way he talks,
The way he walks.
the way he
I
says the
said,
N-word.
"What's up, nigga?"
Yet Drake fans still trying to hate, like, well,
I do remember that dude, yeah. Yeah, I was like, shut the
Kendrick
fuck up,
also
bro.
says, you don't want to respond back, bro. You don't want.
Man, look, I get you're a fan of Drake, but there's a time and place for meat riding. And look, if somebody just bombed your dude, just fucking disrespected and kicked him in the teeth like Kendrick did to Drake, you just gotta shut up and take that L. You just gotta take the L, man.
This smoke, implying that he got more things to expose.
Exactly.
him for. And we do see that later. And everyone loved it. We were like, dang, Kendrick really did his thing. He don't even gotta do nothing else.
Damn, get off that nigga dick.
And then he drops another one. May 3rd, 9 a.m. 6:16 in LA drops. There's so many hidden meanings to the title and cover
Yeah.
of this track, but those are not too important. Well, the cover is, but I'll get to that later. The important stuff are the lyrics. Short answer, Kendrick is basically saying, yo, your friends? They ain't your friends. In fact, they working for me. Huh? He also mentions hiding behind Twitter bots, which is actually true. On some Twitter polls, Drake would get an overwhelming amount of votes and weird quote tweets defending him. It's obviously bots though. Like, look
Yeah.
at this poll. However, at the same time, Drake might not even be behind this. It could just be a crazed fan making a bunch of bots try to defend their king. But overall, this track was a continuation of Euphoria, saying he got eaters on the street and Drake should be worried. The cover alone was a warning, but we all know Drake. He always tries to have the last laugh. Drake drops Family Matters the same night as 6:16, and it was basically a diss towards everybody that took shots at him. He took shots at A$AP Rocky, who dissed him in Show of Hands on We Don't Trust You Too, which that album wasn't as hard, but
Yeah.
A$AP song was a highlight. This is The Weeknd too, because he's still butthurt he didn't sign to his OVO label that doesn't give any of their artists any long-term success or promotion, because Drake signs these people not to help their career, but to use them for his own music, but that's just a theory. Dissed his own crew, because apparently he didn't trust them neither. Even J. Cole caught a stray. Like, I thought this dude left the beat. Damn, neither of them like you. And of course, throwing shots at Kendrick. Now, there are a few claims on here that stand out. Saying that Kendrick was responsible for Tupac's family's estate taking down the AI diss track, which, thank God. Also
Yeah.
claiming he was a wife beater? Now, this was news to me. So on May 3rd, 2014, Kendrick performed at the Hard Rock Hotel in Vegas for a rehab event. There's like no articles from that time talking about this incident, but I think a security guard accused Kendrick of beating up a woman during an after party. Bro, I could barely find any
Yeah.
evidence of this concert even happening, let alone any evidence of accusations from any supposed victim. This just seemed like a story I'd see on Media Takeout. There's
Exactly.
nothing supporting this. Then he lies again with a claim that Dave Free, former Top Dog Entertainment president and Kendrick's childhood friend was the father of Kendrick's kid, because he left a heart under a pic of Kendrick's wife and kid's post, and also she don't follow Kendrick on Insta. Bro is reaching for the stars for this. How does one come to this conclusion? He also says that Kendrick hasn't gotten married yet because he knows what type of woman he likes, implying he's a if it ain't snowing, I ain't going kind of guy. Which I guess would make sense for Kendrick's character, but nah, for real, it's just dumb. Drake comes again with another doodle pile of a track. And the thing is,
it
the
wasn't
track
good.
Sounds hard. The beat and flow are cool, but if you actually listen to what he's
once
saying
you break it
about
down,
Kendrick,
it's bad.
he's speaking nonsense. There's like no actual substance to the lyrics. The only line that I think is kind of good is, "You write about F the big three. It's only Big D. It is video proof." But yeah, this track is worse than Push-Ups, but better than the AI diss track, I would say. Drake fans went crazy over this.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my god,
it's
this
so
is
good.
Kendrick hits woman and Mother's Day is around the corner. What a revelation. They felt like they succeeded. They won the beef.
Nah.
They felt pure joy. For about 10 seconds. Because 45 minutes later, Drake's murder is made public.
Oh shit, Scare Tactics. Oh, I love that show. Meet the Grams.
Kendrick drops Meet the Grams minutes after Family Matters.
It was like
On
right
this
after,
track,
I remember.
Kendrick bodies Drake in supervillain levels of ways. First of all, the beat of this track even sounds like a supervillain's theme music. And this eerie piano loop is playing while Kendrick is calmly rapping.
Yeah,
over
like, it
and
was a murder
lyrically
scene.
Dissected and breaking down this man's horrible alleged things he's
Yeah.
done. Starting the track with a letter to Adonis, his son.
Yeah,
Telling
like,
his
that's
own
top tier
son that
hating.
He's a horrible father. He let T.I.'s homie piss on his leg in 2010, and that he could be his new mentor since his own dad ain't teaching him squat. Oh my God. Imagine someone telling this to your son in a song. Even if I was a deadbeat dad, I wouldn't let anyone else know. That's crazy. Also saying don't pay to play with them Brazilians, get a gym membership, which references Drake's
BBL.
supposed BBL. Most people don't know where Drake's BBL accusation comes from.
That's a Brazilian butt lift. That's what BBL stands for. It's butt injections. Make your ass fatter.
Let me explain. Back in 2016, when Joe Budden and Drake were beefing, Joe Budden accused Drake of removing fat from his stomach to get abs. This type of surgery is called abdominal etching, which is fake abs. And there were some photos from back then that people found sus. The BBL part of it is just a funny joke. Because usually when you get a BBL, the doctors usually remove the fat from the stomach to put it in the butt. But they're really accusing him for having fake abs. In the second verse, he starts writing a letter to his mom and pops. This dude getting personal.
Yeah, he
Telling
got
them
personal.
He's a sick man with sick thoughts, and he should be in a cell with Harvey Weinstein, which no one would want to be in. The biggest accusation of all being he and his crew are predators.
Yeah.
This is what got people talking the most. And he's been accused of this many times in the past, and some of his homies too. This was all public information. Alleged public information.
Yeah,
I ain't trying to
alleged.
get sued. Further
Yeah.
taking on this accusation, saying, I've been in this industry 12 years. I'm gonna tell y'all one secret. It's some weird going on, and some of these artists be here to police it. They be streaming.
I mean, that's aged like wine, too. Look at the shit going on with Diddy right now. Like this whole industry is fucked.
And the victims all inside of their home and calling them tender, then leak videos of themselves to further push their agendas. I've seen a lot of celebrity and political news throughout the years. If this info is true, I'm sadly wouldn't be surprised by it. These are like already crazy accusations. And remember, Kendrick is telling all this to his mom. Then the very next verse, he dedicates it to Drake's daughter? What? Alright, when I heard this, I went to researching, analyzing this verse immediately. Hours upon hours of searching, trying to find out what this verse really meant. And for like 3 hours of this research, I was convinced Drake had not a daughter, but a son. Another one! I was geeking when I found this info. I thought I had Pusha T this level of evidence. But I'ma save you the internet detective journey and say everything I found was most likely lies. All those hours digging down the toilet. I've even seen some popular TikToks talking about it. I'm not gonna go in depth with what I found. All I'm gonna say is Papi Chulo. I do think the verse implies he has more illegitimate children, though. I mean, we do know he be messing around a lot, so it wouldn't be too out there.
Yeah.
And the final verse being the nail in the coffin, Kendrick basically saying, you did this to yourself. You called out my fam, so I had to stoop even lower. From the start, he been telling him, don't tell no lie on me, and I won't tell truths about you.
Yeah,
Ending the track with F a rap battle, this a life battle with yourself. Wow, this is the type of diss track you can't come back from.
No.
You just have to lay down and reflect on your life's
He
actions.
tried to come back.
Every line in this track
Or
is just
think about
aimed
coming back.
directly at Drake's soul, each shot as destroying as the next, making me think this is one of the best diss tracks of all time. Hell, it's even on par with Fleetwood Mac's. Everybody was going crazy over this, saying it's over for Drake. Bro finna disappear and start a new life at the Turks. But before that, little did we know, Kendrick was not done playing with his carcass just yet. Cause the very next day, he drops another one.
Another one. To put the dirt on him, just putting the dirt on him. I see dead people. They not like us.
Not Like Us, Kendrick's fourth diss track, drops the next day out of nowhere. People already thought he won with Meet the Grams, but dropping this was like Kendrick showing up at Drake's funeral and blowing up the casket just to make sure he dead. Cause this track is a bop. He don't even expose nothing crazy on this track. That
He just keeps going forward.
Bro just
He's just going forward with things he said in the previous tracks.
clowning him in the catchiest way possible. Got everyone in the world yelling, "OV ho!" Catchy hook, catchy one-liners,
Catchy
and saying
beat.
Drake a weirdo. This might be the greatest song of all time. And one of the smartest choices Kendrick did for this, during this entire beat, was making both this song and Meet the Grams copyright free. So the popularity of this track was inevitable. A mainstream sounding Kendrick song that is free to use in any aspect? You know everyone gonna take advantage of that. You hear it on YouTube, at clubs, you hear it watching the NBA, you hear and see LeBron partying to this song. That's how you know it's fire.
It's
It was
over.
Even if the accusations of Drake aren't true, having a song hit #1 in the world that is an anthem about you being a predator,
I
will
think Drake did
forever
it.
leave a stain on your legacy, no matter who you are. Drake never gonna escape this, no matter how hard he tries. But even after all this, Drake does try to. And his response to these tracks are just tragic.
We gotta definitely write a song about how we do not diddle kids. Do not diddle kids. It's no good diddling kids.
Drake drops his response to Heart Part 6, and dude was playing defense the whole track, basically saying, if I did it, where the evidence?
Yeah.
That don't count. Even bringing up Millie Bobby Brown.
When nobody
which
mentioned
I'm
her.
still shocked he even brought her up. Like, why? Nobody said her name. Bro.
Exactly.
Bringing her up makes you look more suspicious. He also accuses Kendrick of being when he was young because of his track Mother I Sober. And on the track, Kendrick talks about the traumas it could have on someone. Not only is dumb and horrible, because the track Drake is referring to is not about Kendrick, but Kendrick's mother, who had suffered from Kendrick's own cousin when she was younger, which I guess flew over Drake's head. Plus, even if it was true, which
It's a bad look for Drake to make fun of that. Like, it's not a good look.
is not, what kind of diss is that?
Yeah.
You were molested. Like, what? That's horrible. And the final thing that really fumbled Drake was when he was like, bro, I got no daughter. Your moles all work for me. And they gave you that info to make you look dumb. You hired his mole just to tell him that? What a waste. That's not the gotcha you thought it was, bro. The line aged even worse with time because a few days later, the Riddler drops an expose of all the items shown on the cover of Meet the Grams, blatantly exposing that what Drake said was a lie. And let me explain this vid real quick because I feel like most people don't even understand what they're looking at, so let me explain real quick. Most of the items are what I assume are Drake's clothes, jewelry store receipts. I cannot pronounce the word jewelry.
Jewelry.
But the main thing I noticed was the box of Ozempic prescribed to Drake. Now, what is Ozempic? It's a medicine to treat adults with type 2 diabetes. And when I found this out, I swear to God, my naive ass thought, yo, Drake got diabetes? This the tabloid of the century. Why no one else talking about it? Come to realize people also use it to lose weight, although it's strongly not recommended to. Many people would rather take the risk of getting thyroid cancer to keep the slim, thick build, especially Drake. The Mo also shows prescribed Adderall and Zolpidem, which is a medicine for helping you sleep. It's also sometimes used as a date drug, which I know some people would want me to point out, but I honestly think he's actually using it to fall asleep, not gonna lie. Cause I would lose sleep too if I had an audition like this. Also, the tweet the Mo posted was attached with security cam footage of Drake, his security guard, and that dude from that DJ Khaled meme.
I love that. I appreciate that.
What the hell is he doing here? And
Yeah.
the Mole says on the tweet, Drake and Academics got until May 13th to drop all claims that Kendrick stole or legal action will come. And as of recording this a day later of the day, the Mole has posted moving footage of the CCTV confirming that they do got actual evidence that can support whatever he was doing this day. Making all of us wonder, what did Drake and Baby Stroller Guy do on this day? And why is it important? Oh, I've seen many things in my life. I've seen kangaroos versus man.
Yeah.
Kangaroos versus cars. Kangaroos versus kangaroos. I like kangaroos. But out of all the crazy things I've seen, Kendrick and Drake's rap beef is one of the craziest and most entertaining thing I've seen.
It was something that was building, but also kind of came out of nowhere. I think that's what makes it so unique.
Long time. Kendrick is just winning at life while Drake is posting these memes on his Instagram story, acting like, oh, I'm gonna press the red button. Bro, it's over. I love seeing both fan bases participating and trying to take the other one down, especially on Twitter, to the point that people were bringing up old Metro Boomin tweets, making Metro grooming a trend.
Yeah.
And some of these tweets are wild, but he was like 16 to 21 when he tweeted these, and I'm not the type to bash someone for old tweets. I've said some bad things and jokes too in my past that sometimes still be haunting me. People try digging for other tweets from anybody who is related to the beef, like Drake and Kendrick, but Drake ain't really have anything, and Kendrick's old tweets were just like, I'm about to go to Best Buy, so Drake fans hit a dead end. The only tweets to come out of this beef that stood out to me were the Ruby Rose ones, who's not even a part of this, but some of these old tweets do make some rappers look concerning.
Well, because there are rumors about you and various famous men. Travis Scott.
When I was younger. Oh wait, actually I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't do this game.
Ooh.
You're a victim. Kendrick Lamar and Drake's beef, I believe, will go down as one of the most iconic things to happen in hip-hop history. The sheer number of diss tracks dropping from both sides, the years of build-up this had, it's like nothing I've seen before in this genre. This is why rap is my favorite genre. You can't find this kind of entertainment nowhere else. And it feels even better when the side you've been rooting on from the start wins.
Yeah.
I feel like I've talked about everything I was itching to say about this topic. But I have one more thing to mention. If this beef taught me anything, I learned this. No matter what you do, no matter how hard it gets, never stop hating. Never stop hating. Even if it looks like they're winning. Even when you're on the losing end of the stick. That doesn't mean you're incompetent. That just means you're not hating enough. Always hate your ops. Even if they did nothing wrong to you, you hate them for a reason, right? So keep hating. Always
The
be a
biggest
hater.
hater.
Because when you eventually get your dub, you will experience what the beauty of revenge truly means. And in conclusion, Kendrick won.
You a big best, you a big best, liar, liar.
That was a great video. I had a lot of fun reacting to this. Like, this was a lot of fun. A very well put together video that detailed a lot of the build up and some of the lines, and I loved the humor he injected into it, and how he made it, easy to follow for people that really ain't in the know of the beef. I need to show my buddy this video because, like I said, I had to explain to him a lot of the beef. Like, oh yeah, this was something that's been kind of building up for a while, but it's like it still kind of came out of nowhere, it felt like. But yeah, Kendrick has, I think, hated Drake for a very long time, and if the things he says about Drake is true, you kind of see why. And the thing with like Diddy and all this coming out, it shows the music industry has a lot of dirty secrets, and I think shit like this is only gonna get worse. So we're gonna see how it turns out. Thank you so much, DeoCraft, for requesting this. Big shout outs to Degenerosity. Go check them out. Go subscribe. Go show them some love. Because I damn sure I am going to subscribe after this. So, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I did. And as always, I'll see you. They not like us. They not like us. In the next one.